The whole purpose of Salesforce is to help us do sales better, to manage our customer relationships, for example. And I think we can all agree that the basis, the fundamental aspect of sales is to really and authentically try to provide value for the person across the table. And if that's the case, if we can all agree that providing value and understanding who we can provide value to, why they need it, and also how we might be able to do that, if that's the key to sales, then all we're about to see here is our product, which really makes that more possible. We're back to fundamentals. So hitting on what Tim said before, most deals are not moving forward because we don't understand the value, or the customer doesn't understand the value we have to offer. And part of the reason why that happens sometimes is because sales teams are operating inside of a paradigm that's a little bit difficult. And when I say a difficult paradigm, I'm talking about this. This is a typical account record with the details showing. This is a typical related list section of an account record. And this is really where all of our most important value information is stored, right? We're talking about the who. This is our list of contacts, 6+, right? As we mentioned, 6 to 10 evaluators and decision makers. We have contracts, notes, and attachments, opportunities, orders, cases, et cetera, so on and so forth. And if you extrapolate this out to a normal seller's kind of portfolio, if you will, perhaps somebody's working 10 deals at a time, as Tim said, hundreds of records, hundreds of relationships, and then multiply that by the amount of notes that are required to truly understand the who, the why, the how, right? And we have perhaps hundreds or thousands of notes and really important pieces of information, which makes life awfully difficult when you're trying to put together a great presentation, a great meeting, which will provide that value and that proposition of value that really proves itself out. And so, welcome back to Altify Insights. This is our relationship map. And as you can see, instead of looking at lists and then lists within lists with many, many tabs, we have a simple single hub, if you will, where we all come together as a team, in this case, an account team. This also works for opportunities. So whether it's an opportunity or an account, the best way that you can possibly understand the who and the why, right? The people and the problems they may have, and then of course the value that we have to offer them being our solutions. You should probably do so in more of a visualized manner like this, where we have all of those people that would normally be many, many tabs centralized in one place. That helps us to operate together, to do task management, and really, even if you're in leadership, it gives you a forest for the trees strategic overview of this account and the key players therein, the people who really matter most to our strategic initiatives to provide value. And what we'll do then is from an operational standpoint, we'll utilize our insight map, which I'm about to go over to now, as a centralized notes hub, if you will. So again, why leave the tab when we can operate here in context? Now, before I actually get into, I'm going to leave the storyline for a moment and just note here that what we're looking at are specific sections, and these sections represent organizational top-down goals that we've learned about, in this case, this company, Ancaster. We know that they have issues with revenue growth, issues with sales productivity, issues with customer retention. And we are going to utilize this insight map, which is integrally connected to relationship map through the people, because realistically, these notes actually belong to those people. When we have meetings with people like Mitch, you can see this meeting notes section over here. I'm going to take notes and I'm going to associate Mitch to this particular insight. And that's how we were able to see all the things we learned about Clara during those meetings we were just talking about, just by hovering over Clara's avatar, okay? So if we're taking notes here and ultimately assigning them to the major overarching themes that this account has problems with or that they have needs for, then we can break these down even further and structure our notes into goals, pressures, initiatives, and obstacles. This is all configurable, by the way. If your vernacular is different, either way, this is perfect to help your sellers really, really be curious and to ask great questions about the most important things that really matter to the people on the other end of the call.